full gift. And you could win. Don't have access to email? Simply send a postcard to Jazz 90.1, 1139 Maiden Lane, Rochester, New York 14615 with your information, and you will be entered. The winner will be announced during Rob Linton's Christmas Eve celebration, Saturday, December 24th at 9 p.m. You can only win the Jazz 90.1 Stocking Stuffer giveaway if you have not won any other contest or giveaway within the past 30 days. Complete contest rules are available by calling 585-966-2660. Happy holidays from Jazz 90.1.
Member-supported Jazz 90.1 proudly welcomes you to America's longest-running computer show, Sound Bytes. Call the show now at 966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Toll-free 800-790-0415 or soundbytes.org. Now, alongside Steve Ray and Dave Enright, here's Nick Francesco on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. America, all the chips in the PC. It is Saturday, the 2nd of December, Anno Domini 2017, and you, you lucky people, you're listening to Soundbites. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Wright.
And in 5 minutes after the hour, we are going to be bringing you news, views, things to choose, nothing to lose, kick off your shoes, don't get the blues. Here comes the news. If you haven't noticed an update to your Mac OS High Sierra operating system this week, now might be a good time to make sure it got installed. It was an automatic installation, but check it. There's a major flaw in High Sierra that allows anyone with physical access to a Mac to gain system administrator access without so much as entering a password. That was late Tuesday that was announced, and on Wednesday, with great apology, Apple issued a software update that was made immediately available for download and was automatically installed in existing Macs, and will be if you haven't turned on your Mac since Wednesday. The vulnerability was publicly disclosed on Twitter Tuesday afternoon. It's not clear whether the problem was privately reported to Apple ahead of time, which is, of course, the encouraged practice when security vulnerabilities are uncovered. Apple maintains an invite-only bug bounty program, so whoever discovered the bug may not be in it. It does not affect Sierra, only High Sierra, or other. It does not affect previous Mac OS versions at all. When the problem is exploited, the user is authenticated into a system administrator account and is given full ability to view files, reset or change passwords for pre-existing users on it, and they can do anything. Root is the God mode on a computer. Apple ID email addresses tied to users on the Mac can be removed and altered as well. There are likely many more ways for someone taking advantage of the issue could wreak havoc on a Mac desktop or laptop. So make sure that update is installed, and to be on the safe side, set a password for root. If, by the way, you have not updated to 10.13.1 and are only on 10.13 or something lower, and the patch did get automatically installed for you, but if you then update to 10.13.1, you have to reinstall the patch. Because the patch itself is not part of 10.13.1. Theoretically, it'll be part of 10.13.2 or whatever, but not yet so far. So anyway, our poll of the week at soundbytes.org, that is Bytes with a Y, Francis would like us to remind you, is root access with no password in Mac OS. Your choices are, I'm patched, I'll check immediately, I don't care, and Macs. So far, we have 26 votes. Most of you are Macs. I don't care. I'm patched, and I'll check immediately in that order. So, and I know you'll have more to say. So if you scroll down on the left underneath fascinating stuff, which seems to get lower and lower every week, you'll find the forums. The second forum down is the poll discussion. And so far, at least the first item under poll discussion is to December 17, root access with no password in Mac OS. And, of course, you can join us by giving us a call, 585-966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Or toll free at 1-800-790-0415.
And that update is named, it's Security Update 2017-001. And you can check your update list to make sure that it came in.
And I will say this, let me commend Apple on fixing this within 24 hours. That's kind of amazing.
Yep.
It shouldn't be amazing, But given what we've seen out of out of Microsoft, the fact that Apple fixed it within 24 hours was
jumped right on it.
pretty flippin' amazing.
Didn't have to wait for their monthly patch cycle.
Right.
Just it's important. Let's do it now.
And that's the way it should be. When it's something serious like that, particularly when already everybody knows about it. That's the deal. Anyway, let's go to the phones. Our first caller is Rick from Arundequoit, New York. Hi, Rick. What's up?
Hello, guys. Good day. A little bit of a Windows patch problem. I did the last Windows 10 update, and when it was finished and said it was all done, I had no internet access, and it looked like it removed all my adapters and connections to Wi-Fi and everything else. I don't know if you've heard anything about this or no.
Was your machine originally Windows 8 or 7?
No, it's a brand new machine that came with 10.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
because I've seen and heard of that with updated machines because
from 7 or 8.
Right, because they've got the wrong set of drivers.
I did that on an Asus one that I had that exactly had it happen with an 8.1 was on that machine.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But I had not yet heard of it happening on a
brand new machine,
pristine 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of curious just to see if you guys knew anything about it. I mean, what I did to fix it, I guess I don't think I have the update now, but I rolled the machine back to the last good update or whatever you want to call it, and everything came back and is working fine.
Right.
Okay.
But now, whether or not I should try it again or
I'd say no.
Okay.
Well, the other thing you might do is check with the manufacturer of your machine.
That's what I was going to say.
And see if there's updated drivers.
Okay.
That may fix the problem.
Before you put the Windows up.
That's what I was going to say is before doing that, I'd be very hesitant. Like Nick was just saying, go back to the manufacturer and make sure they've got some newer updates. Because since you got a machine that was pristine with 10 on it, they've been probably updating a lot of their drivers too.
Okay, so specific to what, networking and things like that updates?
Right. Well, who made your machine?
It's a Dell.
Perfect. You have a number on your Dell machine. I forget if they call it the service tag number.
Service tag, yeah.
You can go to Dell's website, the support side of that, and put in that service tag, and they will tell you what updates are available for your machine.
And you just don't want to just do the network. You want to
do everything.
Anything that's there that's relative that needs updating.
Right, but I suspect you will find some networking or Ethernet card or whatever updates.
Motherboard.
Wireless, whatever. Right, it might be motherboard. But anyway, do all those updates. And then, by the way, you will have those updates on your machine. So now if you do the upgrade, the Windows 10 update again, and they go away, you can reinstall them from the download.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for the information. That's great. Have a great day.
You too. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Yep. That is a little unusual, I have to admit. I haven't seen too much of that lately. But, yeah, it's an issue that Microsoft has had for a while, particularly with older machines that were updated to 10. The drivers at some point become incompatible with Windows 10. And you need to make sure that your machine is up to date. And again, with a machine like Dell, you have a service tag number. You can enter that service tag at Dell's support website, and that will tell you any issues you have, any drivers you need to update for Windows. So that's really kind of nice. It's a nice feature that not some machines have, but not every machine, which is too bad.
And similar issues in the Apple community too. The Apple update program updates your Apple stuff, like the Microsoft does the Microsoft stuff. Doesn't necessarily update the third-party drivers.
Right.
So printer drivers, video card drivers, third-party applications. Sort of as a general rule, before you put in any update, check compatibility. We had a couple machines come in the last week or so. People have upgraded to High Sierra, and something broke. And and then we figure out some incompatible app they had that they hadn't touched in 3 years. That's part of it too. You may not even be using these apps anymore.
Yeah,
but they're still in there.
Old programs that you might have installed eons ago, and
yeah, they're still in there. The drivers are still trying to load, and suddenly now it's not compatible, and your machine chokes.
Yep. All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is Cole from the Great White North of New York State, Richville, New York. Hi, Cole. What's up? Cole? Hello, Cole? I'm hearing nothing.
He ran to the restroom. Didn't expect to get on that quick, maybe?
I don't know. Cole? Are you there?
Evidently
he is not. Okay, not a problem.
We'll try again.
Thanks anyway.
Call back.
Maybe.
Thanks for playing. Try again.
Exactly. He's up there near Ogdensburg, in Richville. So who knows?
Ooh, my old stomping ground.
There you go.
Yeah, I lived up in Ogdensburg close to a year and a half with my great grandparents, and they lived right on the St. Lawrence Seaway. I remember sitting up there on Ford Street. Sitting up on the porch with my grandfather, and we'd watch the boats going up and down the St. Lawrence, and we'd try to guess the flag because you'd see it coming. All right, what country do you think this might be from?
Oh, yeah, nice.
And we'd wait, and he'd sit there and pull up the binoculars because we'd try to see it far away and just guess from the general color.
See, nowadays you just take a picture of it and ask Google.
Yeah. I used to live in Ogden. Does that help? No.
In Ogden, New York?
Yeah.
Which is nowhere near Ogdensburg?
No. One of the western suburbs.
Yeah, right.
North of Riga.
Potsdam, places like that up there. Watertown. I had a friend from Watertown who actually had they're actually north of Watertown. I had a friend from Watertown who had pictures of him sledding out the second floor window.
Yep.
From his second floor window, there was a snowbank that went right up to the...
It was Rich from Colesville, not Cole from Richville. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Who is it?
It's Wesley from... No, I forgot because you guys took... It's Wesley, though.
It's Wesley. Wesley, where are you calling from?
That's about 8 miles
Wait.
west of Attica.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear this. I didn't hear the city. Where are you?
Pardon?
We didn't hear the city. It wasn't... you weren't potted up yet. So where are you from?
Colesville.
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 Right.
That's about 8 miles west of Attica.
You weren't anywhere near it, Dave.
But the thing of it is, though, and I don't know what they did with the phone system.
We're not getting overdriven again, though.
No, we're not getting overdriven. But what happens is when people are calling, the volume on the phone is down to 1.
Oh,
so I'm sitting there trying to hit it to get the volume up.
That's why we're not overdriving it, because it's down so low.
So we can I can at least hear people, and I'm trying to do that while I'm talking to them. And
right. Anyway, Wesley, what's your question?
I have a question for Nick.
Yeah.
Last week you mentioned a book about Chromebook for seniors.
Yes.
Is that available in a paperback?
No, it is not. And let me tell you about Chromebooks for Seniors. It's a book that I wrote, actually, and it is available as an ebook. And the reason it's not available as a paperback yet is because I have to get an actual ISBN number in order to do that. And that hasn't all happened yet. Okay. When it has, I will certainly let everybody know. But I was caught short by the fact that I apparently need an ISBN number.
Any guesstimate how long?
No idea. I've never done it before in my life.
You can always download it and print it yourself.
That's true, you could. But it might be a little easier to wait for the paperback to be available on Amazon.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Yep, I have to get on that. As I was saying to these guys, I was very sick this week. Spent most of the week sleeping, so I didn't even get to it until somewhat later in the week, and I don't even know what to do at this point. So I'll figure it out. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Back in just a couple of minutes with Dave Enright, Steve Ramey, Nick Francesco, and you. It's 19 minutes after the hour. It's Sound Bytes. It's truly great and solely member-supported Jazz 90.1.
It's America's longest-running computer show. Back to more Sound Bites with Nick, Dave, and Steve. Next on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Why not let your favorite radio station treat you to 2-for-1 dining opportunities throughout the Rochester area? Make a pledge of $90, 10 cents or more, and you'll receive the Jazz 90.1 Enhanced Member Card. Good for the duration of your membership, and very good for 2-for-1 dining incentives in dozens of restaurants. Go on, give in to dining out and celebrate with a 2-for-1 steak dinner, sushi, or even Italian on us, Jazz 90.1, with more of the food that feeds your ears every day. Call 966-5299 or go online to jazz901.org and pledge $90 and 10 cents or more to member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Do you want to learn English? Visit usalearns.org. Our website offers hundreds of interesting videos and educational activities for learning English online. More than 7 million people around the world have used USA Learns to increase their job opportunities and improve their lives. Use your computer, laptop, or tablet and start learning English today at usalearns.org.
Are you planning a vacation? Take the great savings you receive with your member card with you. Order a travel card to enjoy 2-for-1 benefits while you're away. Visit membercard.com/jazz901 to order travel cards and pay just a small fee to cover shipping and handling. You can also use the member card mobile app to take advantage of benefits at your destination. Don't have a Jazz 90.1 member card? Become a member today at the $90.10 level and above to receive yours.
You might not know everyone in your community, but if you did, you'd see that people in recovery from mental and substance use disorders are all around. Reach out for support and begin your recovery journey. Join the Voices for Recovery. Strengthen families and communities.
For confidential information on mental and substance use disorders, including prevention and treatment referrals for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, my name is Jeff Harris. Join me every Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. for Big Road Blues. Big Road Blues is an exploration of vintage blues from the 1920s on up. Each week we examine different themes and aspects of the blues, playing both classic and forgotten blues greats from the past. That's Big Road Blues every Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Jazz 90.1 is supported in part by our members and by City Newspaper on stands each Wednesday. City Newspaper offers weekly calendar listings for area lectures, workshops, exhibits, special events, all genres of music, film, and more. City also offers their movie page with extensive film reviews. For more information, you may visit rochestercitynewspaper.com or find them on many newsstands throughout the city.
And now, a check of your Jazz 90.1 weather forecast.
Variably cloudy skies today will include some sun at times, the high 44 to 48. Partly moonlit skies tonight, the low 32. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high 46 to 50. I'm Kevin Williams on Jazz 90.1.
And currently right now we've got overcast skies. It's 41 degrees out at the airport and 45 here at member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Hi, I'm Jim McGrath, host of the Blues Spectrum. I hope you can tune in this Sunday evening from 7 until 9 for some of the best blues around here on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And at 23 minutes after the hour, we are Soundbites. So here we go. Through the magic of the Play Store, the official Microsoft Office apps have arrived on Chromebooks, at least the Chromebooks that have access to the Play Store. It has been a long journey to get here, with random individual Chromebook models gaining and losing Office support for the past year. But now, according to a report from Chrome Unboxed, the Office suite is live on all Chromebooks. You need an Office 3, all Chromebooks that access the Play Store. You need an Office 365 subscription to actually save and edit a document, but if you're paying the $7 a month fee, you can now fire up the apps on a Chromebook. Whoop-de-friggin'. Okay.
Yeah,
the
really.
Play Store on Chromebooks brings Android apps to the formerly web-only platform. For Microsoft Office, this means Chrome users get the Android tablet version of Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. Microsoft's tablet apps are pretty good. They offer a big screen optimized interface that looks a lot like Windows apps, but with a smaller feature set. While most people are probably buying Chromebooks to use Google's suite of online services, having a fully offline capable copy of Office can be a handy thing to have in the tool chest. I don't know if it's handy enough to justify $7 a month, but okay. Yeah. If you really need to open a Word or Excel document without using Google Drive's conversion features for whatever reason, now you can for a mere $7 a month. It's interesting to see Microsoft offer Office support on Chromebooks, which have been threatening Windows desktop dominance for some time. Microsoft is responding to the Chromebook threat with Windows 10S, a version of Windows that is locked down to the Windows Store. Windows Store apps, especially the new school Universal Windows Platform apps, are more constrained than the usual Windows applications, allowing for a more managed App Store experience. With the collapse of Windows Phone, Microsoft has been more open to bringing its apps to other platforms. The company has loaded up Android with Microsoft apps to the point it has even started selling Microsoft Edition Android phones in its stores. While we're sure Microsoft would rather you go the Windows 10S route, if you're on a Chromebook, the company now has a way to reach you with Office. And by the way, the free Office app viewers will expire in April, so no more free ride for you.
And, what does Chrome charge a month?
Zip, nada, niente, nothing, zero.
And when will that expire?
Never at all, no way.
And the free Google Docs can read Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files, right?
It's exactly right.
Yeah, and PowerPoint.
In fact, well, let me finish this and then I'll tell you a story. Yeah. Is Microsoft Office access on your Chromebook worth $7 a month to you? Give us a call, 585-966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Toll free, 1-800-790-0415. Here, I have had, over the years, I've been using Google's Office suite. Even when I was working, and I would often have faculty come to me and say, I can't open my Word document, it's corrupted. And I could open it either in LibreOffice or in Google Docs. Mm-hmm. Because with both of those, with Microsoft Office, if it gets to something that's corrupted and can't read it, it gives up, it just stops. Can't read this document, it's all screwed up. If either of the other two, LibreOffice or Google Docs, sees something like that, and frankly, LibreOffice is actually better at this than Google Docs is, they'll often just skip the bad part and go on and read the rest again. So I was often able to resurrect a document that was dead. And of course, none of my faculty ever made backups. You know who you are. And return it to them with 95% of the document there, just the one corrupted little area that they'd have to redo.
Redo, yeah.
And they're still mad.
And of course they're still mad. You couldn't get back all of it. I've performed a miracle. I'm sorry it wasn't specifically the miracle of loaves and fishes.
Never says it. Yep. What have you done for him that instant?
Exactly. I'm
that
sorry.
You did 2 seconds ago. What have you done for him now?
That's right. It's like giving somebody a ride somewhere, and I'm saying, you're dropping me off at the door? Yeah. What's wrong with the living room?
Yeah.
So anyway, the basic idea here is that there are many people, many people, in fact, who are using Google Docs quite happily, and I don't necessarily see them needing Microsoft Office. Now, there are some features in Microsoft's Office suite, particularly the much more esoteric stuff in Excel, that are not available in any other Office suite. But those are also not available in the Excel app. So I'm not sure what it is you're getting for $7 a month, except Microsoft gets $7 a month.
The familiarity of Microsoft Office that you have at work.
I suppose.
But many businesses and schools, especially schools now, are switching to Google Docs to not pay that Microsoft fee.
Yeah, it saves them money.
We actually ran into something kind of interesting this week. We had an MCC student come in with her computer for getting ready for the new term, and wanted Microsoft Office. So normally it's $150 per user. Maybe there's something for MCC for students. No. Faculty and staff. Excuse me.
Gets them all choked up.
Faculty and staff can get it for $10.
Yep, they can.
Students, no discount.
No discount for students, and that's true in a lot of places. Many schools are now going to the Google Suite.
Yeah,
and they buy it for all the students at the school. I don't know if they buy it or they get. I don't know. I don't run a school, but they get it for all the students at the school.
Well, a lot of schools are, as you know, Dennis was in here with his daughter,
right,
and they're all getting Chromebooks.
Right.
They're getting the tablets, and it's easy. Like we've discussed before, you can hand those tablets out to the kids. They can't mess them up. They can't get viruses. They can't get spyware. Can't get malware. They can load the apps that you want to have on there and lock it down.
Yep.
They're golden.
Yep, it's perfect. And for I see a lot of my college students are using Chromebooks now.
Yeah.
They've got a very high-end machine back in their dorm room that they play games on all night long and all of that stuff. But for class, they really don't need more than a Chromebook. Why pay for more?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. So they bring a $200, $300 Chromebook to class, and they can do everything they want to do. If it gets stolen, that's sad, but not horrible, because all they have to do is change their password. They don't even have to change it, but they do. You should change their password. And then when they get their new Chromebook, pop it open and put in the new password, and everything comes back just the way it was originally. It's perfect.
It used to be the big companies would give their software at a steep discount for students to get them addicted. So then when they got out into the real world, they had to pay a fortune.
It's the Jesuit saying, give me your child before he's 7, he's mine for life.
Yeah, we jokingly call it the crack model of give them a taste for
First
free.
taste is free.
First taste is free. Yeah.
Well,
so G Suite for Education is free, and then when you get out into the real world, Google Docs is still free.
Yep.
Yeah.
The worst thing for any company to support is mail.
Yeah.
Because so many people rely on it. If even one tiny little thing goes wrong, they hit the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Google's problem. And oh, by the way, Google gives you, when you're using G Suite for Education, a massive amount of space. I mean, a massive amount of space. The other beautiful thing is you really don't need mail as much as you used to. So faculty used to say, mail me your tests, or not your tests, but your papers and blah, 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 blah. Now it's just share your paper with me on Google Docs.
Yeah.
That's all. Done. And students can
dog
collaborate.
can't eat it anymore.
What?
The dog can't eat it anymore.
Exactly.
And the thing,
My electronic dog ate my electronic paper.
Tamagotchi? Electronic
Tamagotchi's exactly right.
and just going from one computer to another, it doesn't make any difference if everything is up in Google.
That's
It's
exactly
just like
right.
me going from one computer to the other. I didn't have to worry about my bookmarks, didn't have to worry about my emails, didn't have to worry about backing up documents and photos and all that other stuff because it's already up on the cloud.
That's exactly right.
So I was able to move from one machine to the other, and everything was there.
Yep.
All I had to do is sign into Google. It's there.
Yeah, and students are doing that all the time, too, because they've got their Chromebooks, and they're in class, and so in between classes, they might be working on a paper, whatever it happens to be, and then when they get home at night, it's there on their desktop, just the way it should be, and they can do whatever they need to do. And the beautiful thing is the collaboration. You can share a document with multiple people, and that multiple is large, by the way, and all of them can edit the same document simultaneously. They can talk to each other while they're editing it. They can see each other's edits in real time. It's amazing, and businesses are loving it too.
Yeah.
And they're seeing that a lot, so it's very, very nice. They're very Google did a really good thing with Google Docs. People are very, very impressed and very happy with it. I have to say that. It's a pretty neat thing.
I used to work on an editing team ages ago, and you could see, this person would make a change, the next person would make a change, the third person would put it back to the first way, the fourth person would put it back to the second way, and the document never ended up getting changed because everyone was fighting back and forth about how it should look. Being able to do it all at the same time and then fight at the same time
Right,
is
exactly.
quite a bit easier.
All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is George, all the way from Vienna, Virginia. How are things in Vienna, George?
Cold. They're very cold at the moment. But I got
Cold
a
being
question.
50?
Pardon?
Cold being 50?
Or below, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question that circles back to your first caller today.
Sure.
I have a Dell machine that was an 8 on 8.1 and it got upgraded to 10, and I've had no problem with the 10 updates until now. And on this latest one, it goes to 54% and stops. And the question is, I do get Dell updates regularly, and I assumed that all the material I needed from Dell was included in the latest update. But the question I really have is there any safe and legal way for me to block this particular update on Windows 10?
Well, it's easy to block. And that's certainly legal, but it's not very safe because the updates are 99.9% of the time to fix a real problem.
Yeah.
But so what you should try first is, as we suggested to Rick, go up to Dell's website, put in your number, and download any updates for their hardware.
A lot of times. A lot of times those updates are broken down into important, critical, and optional. And the critical updates often come in automatically. The important updates may not.
Right, or certainly not the optionals.
Yeah.
The other thing you should probably do is before you do your upgrade, turn off your antivirus.
Okay.
Often enough, what we're finding is that if your antivirus is running, it thinks the upgrade is a virus because it's trying to change your machine.
Yeah.
So that's not something we recommend people do regularly, but you should definitely do it for an upgrade that goes wrong. And when you do that, please write a sticky note, stick it on your monitor to turn it back on again.
Okay, that's good advice. I have a McAfee antivirus program, and it should be easy to turn it off.
Yeah, it is.
Many of them now have a pause for an hour, and then it will restart itself just in case. But it's a good idea to check to make sure.
Yeah.
And we can't stress enough to have a backup. You should have a backup all the time anyway, but especially before you do an upgrade.
Right.
Because when things go bad, you
just
can go
in
back.
case.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, good luck.
Big help. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's updates are a problem. Now, Dave is about to tell us that Chromebooks update themselves without anybody ever having an issue ever.
Yeah, no,
ever.
You just sit there and it does it.
But, well, I will tell you this. One time, the very first Chromebook I ever bought did an upgrade and completely borked. It was completely dead in the sense that it did not boot.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned it off and I waited a while, took a couple of deep breaths, turned it back on again. It came back up and said, there seems to be a problem. I will do a refresh. And it did a complete refresh of my system from Google's hidden website, and everything came back up perfectly after that.
Well, you know,
how refreshing is that?
The Chromebook I had one time, I don't know what happened. It was last year, and the thing locked up.
Yep.
And it wouldn't do anything. So I had to do the hard start and turn around, waited, did its thing, came back up, said, sorry for the inconvenience. We're fixing the problem. And boom, waited a couple seconds. Everything was back there the way I had it. I mean, it's like,
and
that's fine.
Yeah, one of the reasons it can do that is I don't want to downplay it, but it's a glorified web browser.
Yes.
It can do a whole bunch of stuff in the web browser. A general purpose computer that can do a zillion things and has all this code loading and all these other drivers loading from 100 different manufacturers, that makes the whole thing much less stable and very easy to one little tiny thing.
And we've been saying
screw
this
it.
for years. A lot of the issue with Windows and the Mac OS is the other software.
Yeah.
The non-Microsoft or non-Macintosh.
If you never install anything other than what came with your computer,
it is likely
to run perfectly fine.
Yeah. The way I best describe a Chromebook is like the old days, having a dumb terminal.
Yep.
You turn it on, it connects to the internet. It's there.
Yep.
And that's all you had to worry about. You turned on your old dumb terminal, it came up, and it was connected. You didn't have to know about the other hardware and everything else. It just did it.
Yep. And you can do dang near anything. I have a friend who does audio editing, video editing, everything on his Chromebooks. The only computer he has is a Chromebook. and he does video and audio editing for a living. So he's perfectly content, perfectly happy to get it all done that way, and loves his Chromebook. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Back in just a couple of minutes with Dr. Dave Enright, Dr. Steve Ray, Mr. Nick Francesco, and you. It is 39 minutes after the hour. It is Soundbites. It is the truly great and truly grateful to you that we are member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Computer talk you can understand. More Soundbites is next on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Jazz 90.1 is supported in part by our members and by Hedonist Artisan Chocolates, a local company specializing in handcrafted chocolates. Hedonist offers gift boxes, business gifts, party platters, wedding favors, and chocolate tasting events. The company ships chocolate throughout the United States. Hedonist Artisan Chocolates Kitchen and Shop is located at 674 South Avenue in Rochester's South Wedge neighborhood. You can also find them online at www.hedonistchocolates.com.
Debt. If you get in too deep, members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. A certified credit counselor helped me get back in control.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. NFCC taught me all I needed to know.
Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. We'll help you put debt in its place. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Half of U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you gonna do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
What's small, pretty, and worth lots of money? It's the Jazz 90.1 Enhanced Member Card, and now it's worth more than ever with the addition of 35 wineries to the list of restaurants, stores, and other businesses in the Rochester area, discounting prices exclusively to members of Jazz 90.1. You can even use your card when you travel in the U.S. It's a great way to reward yourself, all while supporting Jazz 90.1. Don't have a Jazz 90.1 member card? Well, get one by making a pledge of support at the $90 10-cent level or above to Jazz 90.1. For more information on becoming a member, call 966-5299 or pledge online at jazz901.org.
Here's the latest Jazz 90.1 weather forecast.
Variably cloudy skies today. We'll include some sun at times, the high 44 to 48. Partly moonlit skies tonight, the low 32. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high 46 to 50. I'm Kevin Williams on Jazz 90.1.
And currently right now we've got overcast skies. It's 42 degrees out at the airport and 46 here at member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Howdy, folks. This is Dan Gross. You can listen to me Mondays, 6 to 8 p.m. here on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm David Knight.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And at 44 minutes after the hour, hey, where's Sound Bytes? A Canadian man has pleaded guilty, and yes, it's pleaded, not pled, guilty to hacking charges related to a 2014 spear phishing operation of Yahoo employees. The hack ultimately compromised 500 million Yahoo accounts. Do you have an account on Yahoo? You were compromised. The operative, Karim Baratov, appeared in a San Francisco federal court on Tuesday afternoon. He also admitted that his role was to hack webmail accounts of individuals of interest to the FSB, which is the Russian Internal Security Service. Baratov then sent those passwords to his alleged co-conspirator, Dmitry Alexandrovich Dukachev, or something similar. Baratov was indicted in late February 2017, along with 3 other men who remain in Russia. The illegal hacking of private communications is a global problem that transcends political boundaries, said United States Attorney Brian Stretch in his statement. Cybercrime is not only a grave threat to personal privacy and security, but causes great financial harm to individuals who are hacked and costs the world economy hundreds of billions of dollars every year. The targeted attack allowed the 4 and possibly other unnamed parties to gain direct access to Yahoo's internal networks. Once in, Alexei Balan, a co-defendant hacker already wanted in the United States for a series of intrusions into the networks of e-commerce providers, is alleged to have conducted reconnaissance of Yahoo's networks. In the process, he discovered 2 key assets, according to the FBI, Yahoo's user database and an administrative tool called the Account Management Tool. While in Yahoo's user databases, while the Yahoo's user database contents did not necessarily give him everything required to access individual user accounts, it did give Balin and 2 SFB agents information that could be used to locate and target specific accounts of interest. And the account management tool could be used to make alterations to targeted accounts, including password changes. Baratov, who waived extradition from Canada, is currently being detained in Northern California without bail. He was arrested in March in Ontario. Baratov's sentencing hearing is scheduled for February 20th of this coming year at 3 p.m. in the federal courthouse in San Francisco. So there'll be more about this story as time went on. So did you get caught in the Yahoo account grab? Hint, probably. Give us a call, 585-966-JAZZ. It's 966-5299. Or, of course, toll-free at 1-800-790-0415.
Later on, Yahoo had to admit that all of their 3 billion accounts were compromised.
Yep.
So, as Nick said, if you have a Yahoo account, your account was compromised. The bad guys do know your Yahoo password. Change it immediately.
If you use that password anywhere else,
yep,
change it again.
Everywhere else, yep. Bruce Schneier recently testified before Congress on the Equifax breach and how horrible the breach was, and the ramifications in the security world, and how little the law can help consumers. Equifax had a minor stock drop, but it's bounced back up again.
Yep.
Even though now virtually every American's confidential and private information has been leaked, and everything the bad guys need to steal your identity is now leaked.
Right. So if you have not changed all your passwords in a while, if you have not logged on to things like the Social Security Administration and places like that to lock down your own account, you should probably do that.
And freeze, put a credit freeze on your accounts if you can. The problem is there are several reporting agencies. Each has their own procedures for freezes and their own fees for freezing. So there's no and the credit reporting agencies. That's sort of the business that we know about. The data brokerage where they sell all the information they collect. That's what we don't know about, and that's where the money is basically at their end.
I know the bad guys could have just paid for the information and gotten it legally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have an account anywhere with anything, ever, you should take steps to make sure it stays locked down. We see this all the time. People don't check their cable bills. Steve has talked about that a number of times. But they also don't check their bank statements.
You grumble about the bill, but you pay it anyway.
Right. And we don't check our bank statements, and we don't check any dividend statements that we get from places. We don't check any of those things. Those of you who have PayPal accounts, how much money do you have in it? And when was the last time anybody took money out of it? Not necessarily you. If you don't check those things, you don't know.
And PayPal has this weird rule that if you leave your money in there too long, they'll take it out and hold it for you.
Right.
It takes forever to get it back.
Right. So every once in a while, I go in and drain the few dollars that are in there, and that's a good thing. The other places, like if you have Google Ads, that's a little bit different. They will transfer it to your account when it reaches $100. I believe is the lowest limit you can ask for. And so, those of us who make $1 or $2 a month have maybe, $30, $40 sitting in there. Oh, well, that is what it is.
High finances.
Yeah. High finance. Exactly right.
Well, and a lot of
I'm a Google mogul.
And a lot of people think that. Well, I don't have any money. I don't have anything to steal. Your name is enough. The bad guys just want anonymity. They steal your name, and then the police find you instead of the bad guy.
Yep. Well, and I say that to my students all the time. They all say, well, I don't have to be careful because I don't have any money. Well, what you have is a pristine credit record.
Yep.
And so it makes it real easy to take
Which
out.
is theirs then.
Right. Which makes it real easy for someone who steals your identity to take out massive amounts of money on your name.
Yeah, because you got that good credit rating and everything else. You're outstanding. You pay your stuff on time and everything else. And then all of a sudden, wham, bam, slam, they just zap you from 16 ways from Sunday.
And even if you have bad credit, there's many credit card companies that will give you a credit card and just super high interest.
And they don't. And the bad guys don't care. They're never going to pay the interest.
No.
Yep.
So it is something you need to be aware of. And I know that makes it hard in this world. You got to take a little responsibility
until
for
it
yourself.
happens to them once, and then they got to go through all the headaches and drudgery of proving that it's not them.
Right.
That could be one of your worst nightmares come true.
It's right, and it's easy. Many of us have had the experience of having a credit card stolen, and that experience these days has gotten to be much easier. I got a call from my bank a couple of years ago. They said, "Did you just make a purchase of fur coats in Florida?" No. Then we will cancel that and we'll issue you a new card. Very simple. But if that was a credit card company with a new credit card that is now maxed out, it ain't that simple, folks. It is years and years and years of paying lawyers to get you out of that.
Yep.
And
if you get out of it at all.
And a lot of times it can be someone with a similar name of you that gets mixed in with your credit report, or a clerk transposes a digit on an account number and someone else's account gets tied into your account. You need to check your credit reports
I had that happen
all the time.
With my late wife. There was another Lori Lynch.
And especially with women whose names change when they get married.
It was down, and this person that kept calling us, all these places kept calling us looking for Lori Lynch. And they said, she'd, answer certain questions, and, well, that's not me. And it turned out it was a lady down in Georgia.
Yeah.
And, I mean, for years they were calling, well, we need to resolve this. And Lori would sit there and say, yeah, go ahead. It's just not me. I live in New York. Where's this person? Well, you could have moved. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Check the Social Security numbers.
Yeah,
that would usually...
You moved, you changed your Social Security number, you changed your age, you changed...
Right.
Yeah, no. Never been there. You show me any proof that even shows. And finally,
I have a friend that travels to Canada a lot for work and conventions. And there's someone in the TSA system with the same name as him.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
And he gets stopped at every border. So he jokes about taking cookies to the border guards.
Yeah.
And this other person is 30 years younger than he is, a different race, 200 pounds heavier than he is, radically different. Just look at the pictures.
Right.
But he's got the same name.
But he's got the same name, and that's how they go on.
Yep.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Last year, we went to my daughter's graduation ceremony in Arizona, and I breezed through the thing because our agent had put some sort of thing on it that said he's okay. I don't know what that is. I don't get it. But I breezed through. On the other hand, my wife got caught in the random search thing. They did everything that didn't involve undressing, and even ran wand over hands searching for gunpowder residue.
Oh, the residue.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's just that was just random. I can't imagine how much worse it is if you actually come up on a list.
Yeah.
I sometimes joke that I want to go to the airport after a day of launching rockets. I'm covered in black powder and ammonium perchlorate.
Yeah, that's probably not the day to go.
Yeah,
In fact, I might not launch a rocket for a month before I went to the airport.
I got you one just as equally as good. When I was going through radiation treatment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
When they first had to test me, and check out my bones and everything else.
Right.
I had to go to 2 different sessions where they literally put radium. Into my system. And the rules were I couldn't be near any children under the age of 5. Not near pregnant women. And if I had to travel, let my doctor know he could give me a letter, because the minute I got near the airport and started getting near security, I would set off all kinds of alarms.
Yep.
They warned me when I hit.
So my one friend who was picking me up one time, the second time I had to go, he says, tell you what, let's swing by the airport, and see if this is true. I says, you SOB.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be fun. Yeah, for who?
Yeah, for him it would be fun.
He'd take off and leave me there,
Exactly
and I'd have to be calling. Yeah.
Yeah, they told me the same thing after I had a PET scan where they bombard you with antiprotons and you emit gamma rays.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I joked.
And you apparently didn't turn into the Hulk?
Well, because I was emitting gamma rays. I wasn't absorbing them.
I'll go with you next time.
I asked them if they could reverse it. But I saw one of those border crossing shows was on, and it was in an airport, and an alarm went off, and the guards kind of looked at each other and, well, what's that? Never heard that alarm before. It was the radiation alarm.
Radiation alarm.
And the guy had a note from his doctor waving it in his hand.
Right.
Well, that's one funny thing, though, is I have to go for my job through the federal building at least once a week.
Yeah.
I have to go in there to drop off a child. Believe it or not, there's a daycare down there.
Yeah.
So here I am with child in tow. They've gotten to know me that, I'm not going to be carrying some firearm for that. So with my keys and everything else, I set off an alarm. They go, yeah, you're
means
okay.
You can't carry a pocket knife either.
No. No, you have to take out anything.
Right.
The only thing I'd carry in there is my, with my belt buckle and my keys. So they know that that's what it is.
I haven't been without a pocket knife since I was like 8. It's very weird for me when I go to the airport to not have a pocket knife on me.
Yeah, I don't carry any of that. As a matter of fact, I said, do you want me to put the child down on the belt and you can run him through?
Yeah, right.
I lost my
They kind of laughed at that.
I lost my favorite pocket knife at the Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
They had airport-like security at this. I'm sorry, not Statue of the Liberty Bell.
There you go. Yes.
To get into that, so I tried to hide it, on a wall around the corner, and no, didn't make it. But that was my favorite pocket knife. I had that for years.
Yep.
Somebody else knew that's hiding.
I still had the tweezers. I always lose the tweezers.
Right.
And the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I still have this. I have my multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
As they call it on sound bites, the multi-tool.
Yeah.
You can't use a brand name. Mine happens to be a Buck, but that's neither here nor there. And that has multiple blades in it as well as multiple screwdrivers and everything else. And I have to remember and I haven't been without this in probably 20 years. And you can't carry any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't. But
you can have it in your bag that you check.
Yeah. Yep.
And then once I got to Arizona, I could put it back in my pocket. But
yeah, it just can't be carry-on.
Right.
Carry-on person.
Right. I have a friend who takes one of the things that you inject yourself with all the time.
Oh, EpiPen.
Yeah, some sort of EpiPen. Mm-hmm. And he had to check. Now it's actually on their website. But back then he had to check with them. He says, can I, just in case I'm stuck in an airport for 48 hours, can I get it? Can I take my EpiPen? And they said yes. That was nice. All right, listen, you've wasted an hour with this nonsense, but we're not done. We're approximately half done. So we're going to take a slightly longer break, but we'll be back on the other side of that with a whole lot more of Dave Enright, way too much of Steve Ray, me, Nick Francesco, all of your phone calls, more news. It's going to be ridiculously exciting. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more sound bites right here on the truly great and truly grateful to you that we are member-supported Jazz 90.1. See you in a few minutes.
Online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at soundbites.org. More with Nick Francesco, Dave Enright, and Steve Ray next on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
WGMC Greece Rochester, a public service of the Greece Central School District, Jazz 90.1.
On Twitter at 901jazz.
President Trump's tax reform package has been approved by the Senate along party lines, but with one exception. Correspondent Abby Phillip.
The president and Mitch McConnell, Senate leaders, really strong-armed a lot of senators over the last week to vote for this bill, and they succeeded in getting almost everyone except for one, Bob Corker, who has been a critic of the president and who had a lot of concerns about the bill that they tried to resolve but weren't able to.
President Trump says he's not worried about what his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn might say to investigators. Correspondent Pamela Brown reports some high-level Trump advisors may have been involved with Flynn.
The charge and plea agreement center around conversations he had with then Russian ambassador to the U.S., Sergei Kislyak, in December of last year. Court documents show that others on the Trump team knew of Flynn's efforts.
The president told reporters today that there was absolutely no collusion between his campaign and Russia and that we're very happy. I'm Ann Cates.
These days, it's easy to have information overload. Sometimes I just want to kick back, hear my favorite music and the news that affects me. That's why I stay tuned into my local radio station. When important news happens in my part of town, I hear it from them first. For the best entertainment, sports, news, weather, and traffic, anytime, anywhere, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text RADIO to 52886. Furnished by the NAB and this station. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Half of U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The success of any business depends on its ability to offer value, a great quality product or service for the right price. Businesses themselves need to get value for the things they need as well. As an underwriter of Jazz 90.1, you can get the word out about your business, what you do, where you are, and how to reach you. Underwriting messages are straightforward, simple, and easy to remember. Underwriting at Jazz 90.1 is a great way to promote your business while supporting public jazz radio. For more information, call the Jazz 90.1 business office at 966-2660 today.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Now, through December 20th, you can register to win a stocking full of great jazz CDs as part of the Jazz 90.1 Stocking Stuffer giveaway. All you have to do is email contests@jazz901.org with your name, address, phone number, and why you think Santa should bring you, or someone special to you, this wonderful gift. And you could win. Don't have access to email? Simply send a postcard to Jazz 90.1, 1139 Maiden Lane, Rochester, New York 14615 with your information and you will be entered. The winner will be announced during Rob Linton's Christmas Eve celebration, Saturday, December 24th at 9 p.m. You can only win the Jazz 90.1 Stocking Stuffer giveaway if you have not won any other contest or giveaway within the past 30 days. Complete contest rules are available by calling 585-966-2660. Happy holidays from Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back to America's longest-running computer show, Sound Bytes, on member-supported Jazz 90.1. Get online now. Call 966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Toll-free 800-790-0415. Or submit your question by email at soundbytes.org. Once again, here's Nick Francesco, Dave Enright, and Steve Ray on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And at 4 minutes after the hour, we are hurtling headlong into the second hour of the longest-running computer show in the known universe. In case you didn't recognize the description, it's Sound Bytes, right here on the truly great and truly grateful to you that we are member-supported Jazz 90.1. And every time I say member-supported, those of you who do indeed support this channel should feel pride all the way down to your toes. And we thank you. In fact, we were just talking about this, and here's a news story on it. For years, Comcast has been promising that it won't violate the principles of net neutrality, regardless of whether the government imposes any net neutrality rules. That meant that Comcast wouldn't block or throttle lawful internet traffic, and that it wouldn't create fast lanes in order to collect tolls from web companies that want priority access over the Comcast network. But with Republican Ajit Pai now in charge of the Federal Communications Commission, Comcast's stance has changed. While the company still says it won't block or throttle internet content, it has dropped its promise about not instituting paid prioritization. Instead, Comcast now vaguely says that it won't discriminate against lawful content or impose anti-competitive paid prioritization. The change in wording suggests that Comcast may offer paid fast lanes to websites or other online services, such as video streaming providers, after Pai's FCC eliminates the net neutrality rules next month. With no FCC rules against paid fast lanes, it could be up to Comcast and indeed Spectrum and others to decide whether any specific prioritization deal is anti-competitive and before implementing it. Pai argues that the Federal Trade Commission and other antitrust authorities would take over regulation in this area, and the FTC could attempt to stop specific deals after they are put into the place. I laugh up my sleeve at that. But the FCC's enforcement powers are limited. As it turns out, Pai's final plan, that will be voted on December 14th, doesn't even ban blocking and throttling. Comcast, and indeed Spectrum and others, could thus pull back even further from its net neutrality promises, but as of last week, it was still promising that it won't block or throttle lawful internet traffic. Comcast's promise to not discriminate suggests that its paid prioritization would be available to anyone who wants it and can't afford it. Offering paid fast lanes to anyone at similar rates could help prevent the Federal Trade Commission from stepping in to block unfair trade practices. So are you ready to pay more for the same stuff you're getting now? Give us a call, 585-966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Or toll free at 1-800-790-0415.
There are several comments, flying around. There are other countries that don't have net neutrality, and people are posting what their internet providers do. Vodafone in Australia and New Zealand. You want to look at web pages, it's $50 a month. You want to look at Facebook and YouTube, it's $60 a month.
Right.
You want to look at Netflix, it's $80 a month.
Right. And let's not forget those of you.
So they're not throttling. You're not paying for a fast lane. You're paying to get to certain websites.
Right. And let us not forget those of you with Apple phones, iPhones, and AT&T. Let us not forget that several years ago, AT&T blocked FaceTime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want people to use it on their network. And it was net neutrality that got it back for you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not forget those things.
And that vote is this next Friday, the 14th.
Right, next Friday the 14th. All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is Steve from Greece, New York. What's up, Steve?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm sure it's going to be simple for you. I'm running Windows 10. They just did an update last night, and I now have this People app thing on my taskbar.
Yep.
I'm not at all interested in the People app.
Yeah, Microsoft doesn't care.
I spent a lot of time trying to find out how to get rid of icons.
It's basically the renamed Contacts or Address book. They've called
Right.
it People now.
Yeah, I don't want it.
You should be able to right-click it and unpin it.
No, I can't.
No, you can't.
Really?
No. And I was hoping if I can't unpin it, you know that up arrow that gives you the hidden icons?
Yeah.
Is there a way to move it into that?
That's a very good question. I don't know of a way to do that.
Yeah, I found a link. It's hiding in the settings now.
Oh, there you go.
Under personalization.
All right, Steve's going to post a link, and it'll tell you how to hide it at least.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it, but you can at least hide it.
Well, you know, they keep putting things on the taskbar, and I want to put things on the taskbar.
Right, right. Well, here's
Well, get a
the
bigger
deal.
monitor, then you can have more space.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Everybody wants to be your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
And they're making it harder to ignore that. You know, by giving you access to everything that they think you want. They're theoretically making your use of their system stickier.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about stiction these days, all about stickiness. So you've got to know that they're going to keep doing this sort of thing, and that getting rid of it is going to be harder and harder. Right now, you can't get rid of that People app.
No, I tried.
Yeah, you can't. You can hide it, but you cannot get rid of it.
Yeah. But if I could get it up in the hidden apps, at least it wouldn't be in my way. It would be out of the picture.
Yeah, Steve's going to put up a link in just a couple of minutes that'll...
It should be there now.
Okay, it should be there now. Then you should be able to hide it at least.
So it's the app is still installed in the start menu if you want it, but it removes it from the taskbar.
Oh, just joy, oh joy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you a lot, gentlemen. You guys have a good day.
All right, have fun.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's everyone wants to believe they're the only thing you've got loaded. I had a customer this week with a computer, a tablet, and a phone. She had a Microsoft email address and a Google email address. Some of her contacts were on the phone. Some of them were on Microsoft. Some of them were on Google. And she couldn't understand why she put a contact on her phone and it didn't show up on the tablet. Well, because you put it on the phone, not on the shared contact. So we had to move contacts among 3 different services and pick one service and just use that one.
Yeah,
it makes it hard. And how's the average user supposed to know that? You know, you ask your IT staff at work,
right?
But at home, you are the IT staff,
right?
So that's what we're here for. We're your IT staff.
We're your IT staff, and we will work for cookies. The big thing is that you're right. People don't quite get, and it's because nobody makes it clear. They may understand easily the difference between what's on your phone and what's on the cloud and et cetera. But what app is on your phone and what app is in the cloud and
right.
Where is it storing these data?
And you set up your Google email and it says, do you want to use it for contacts and calendars? And on is default.
Right.
And then you set up your Hotmail address and it does the same thing. On is default. And now the last one you did becomes the new default.
Right. Right. All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is Victor from Arundecoit, New York. What's up, Vic?
Hi, guys. I have a comment on something that was discussed last week, if I may.
Sure.
Somebody called up and was complaining about they couldn't set up a tablet. You know, they were having a hard time, and you brought up, well, you get what you pay for. Well, and no disrespect to Steve for the iPads, or iPods, one of them. I've got a Kindle, many Kindles, and they had a sale last week. $49.99 for an 8-inch, and they're terrific. They're clear. They're crystal clear. Text service is second to none, and it takes 10 minutes to set up. You know, I mean, I don't know what this person was talking about when they couldn't do it, but they don't ask for the codes to launch missiles. It's very, very simple. And as far as money, on towards a tablet. I mean, $49 is not a lot of money, and yet they're a terrific tablet.
Well, and you're absolutely right. What Jason was talking about was his inability to do certain things with the tablet that he wanted to do. Jason is a more advanced user who doesn't want to just use the tablet the way it's set up.
Yeah, I want to load Autodesk to do 3D modeling.
Right. He wants to do...
You're not going to do that on a $49 tablet.
Right, but he wanted to do certain things that were not easily done on those types of tablets. Whereas if with any of these, if you buy the tablet and only use the things that it came with, or that you get from its own store, you're probably not going to have much trouble. But when you want to do something a little out of the ordinary, doing it on the less expensive tablets is harder. Absolutely right.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that he was doing more specialized stuff. But,
yeah, and I agree with you. A Kindle is a very fine instrument for what it does. But if you want to buy books on Google Play, or you want to buy Nook books as well, or you get a special deal on something at Nook, or somebody gives you a credit card, one of those Barnes and Noble gift cards. Thank you. You can't necessarily do those easily on certain models of Kindles. Others that actually are kind of Google Android underneath, maybe, but generally not, particularly not the $49 ones. And the $49 ones come with ads, and some people object to that. So it's really a matter of you get what you pay for, and you pay for what you get. And some people don't mind the ads and don't mind having to stick with what you're given, and some people want to strike out into the unknown, unfettered by commercialization, and doing that on a $49 tablet is a little harder than doing it on a $49 Kindle.
Yeah, and like most of the product lines, Amazon sells a bunch of different Kindles. They have a $39 Kindle and they have a $300 Kindle.
Right.
They read books, yeah, but you could do more on the other one.
Right. And so it depends on how far you want to go outside the constraints of the $39 tablet, and that's really all it was.
Oh, okay. 'Cause, I have like 800 books on mine, and I have no problem reading them. And
right, but he wanted to do more than just read books. He wanted to do other things that were not book related.
Yeah, no, I understand that now. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, Victor. Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well. You can buy those $50 tablets, and if all you want to do is put a couple of different readers on it, right? If you can get a $50 tablet that has a micro SD card, so you can up the storage, and then you can put the Kindle app and the Google app, Playbooks app, and the Nook app, and one of the free reader apps. So if you download something from archive.org, you can read that. It's a pretty complete ebook reader, but it's still not a pretty complete tablet, right? The kind of things that people want to do on their tablets for a $50 tablet can be awfully slow if they can do them at all. And so that's really the deal that Jason was talking about last week. I'm putting words in Jason's mouth, but what the hell? He's in Altoona, PA, so he doesn't. What's he going to do? Come up and find me?
We see the same sort of thing in people looking at computers. You always want to spend as little as possible,
right?
And so people will ask us, well, I want to surf the web. I want to send my email, and I want to play some games. Well, you might have just added a comma.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It depends on the games you want to play.
Yeah. Solitaire, fine.
Right.
Halo, you added a comma.
Yeah, not so much. Well, that goes back to what I was saying about my students. They have desktops at home that are, 32 gig, 64 gig, multiple monitors, giant cards that cost more than a desktop. And that's what they play their games on. But when they go to class, they don't need any of that.
Yeah.
They just need something to take notes on and read email and look at Facebook instead of paying attention to the teacher.
Yeah, I need a quiet
keyboard.
who
you are.
Yeah. I need a quiet keyboard.
Right, they don't care about that.
I tend to type loudly, I guess. I've had people on the phone yell at me for typing too. Well, I'm trying to take notes about what we're talking about so other people can understand it.
Right. I used to get the same thing, particularly back in the days when you used the IBM clacky keyboards, which were the best. I know
people that wish they still had those clackety keyboards.
There's still somebody who makes them.
There's a couple of companies that still make the big mechanical switch clackety keyboards.
Yep. Those are great.
I hear a lot of professional writers hating the new keyboards on the new computers, especially the new Macs. There's very little throw at all.
Those little chiclet keyboards are terrible.
But hopefully it'll cut down on the carpal tunnel issues. That's
right.
That's the intent, at least.
Right. At home, I have one of those wave keyboards, so I can type for hours without a lot of pain. But on any of these chiclet keyboards on any machine, it gets me in pain after a while. All right, we're going to take a quick break. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Dave Enright, with Steve Ray, with me, Nick Francesco, with your phone calls, and with a whole lot more of this nonsense. It's 19 minutes after the hour. It's Sound Bites. It is the truly great and solely member-supported Jazz 90.1.
It's America's longest-running computer show. Back to more Sound Bites with Nick, Dave, and Steve. Next on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Jazz 90.1 is supported in part by our members and by City Newspaper, on stands each Wednesday. City Newspaper offers full community music and arts listings, including music reviews from City's Frank DeBlaze. City also offers a look inside new restaurants and cafes opening in Rochester and more. For more information, you may visit rochestercitynewspaper.com or find them on many newsstands throughout the city.
What's small, attractive, and worth lots of money? It's the Jazz 90.1 member card, and now it's worth more than ever with the addition of 35 wineries to the list of restaurants, stores, and other businesses in the Rochester area, discounting prices exclusively to members of Jazz 90.1. You can even use your card when you travel in the United States. It's a great way to reward yourself, all while supporting Jazz 90.1. Don't have a Jazz 90.1 member card? Get one by making a pledge of support at the $90.10 level and above to Jazz 90.1. For more information on becoming a member, you can call 966-5299 or make a donation online at jazz901.org.
There's no better way to test drive a restaurant than to take them up on a dining incentive. And Jazz 90.1 has dozens of them for you to try. Test drive a new taste with the Jazz 90.1 Enhanced Member Card for your pledge of $90.10 or more to Jazz 90.1. It's good for the duration of your membership. Get the Enhanced Jazz 90.1 Member Card by calling 966-5299 or online at jazz901.org.
I never get the flu.
My kids don't need more shots.
I don't have time.
We're all healthy.
No matter how you build your excuses, the flu can blow your house down.
I can't believe I used up all my sick time.
I missed a week of school during finals.
Now my baby has it because of me.
The hospital?
Keep your foundation strong. Vaccinate.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey, at our startup, my team and I move at the speed of tech 24/7. Bottom line, I just want the news that matters. So I turn to my local radio and TV stations. I want to hear from people who live and work in my town, people I know and trust. For the best entertainment, sports, news, weather, and traffic, anytime, anywhere, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text RADIO to 52886. Furnished by the NAB and this station. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
If you want to support Jazz 90.1 a lot, but your budget says only a little will work, there is a way. It's called the Jazz 90.1 Jazz-O-Matic membership. You can support Jazz 90.1 with a monthly gift of $10 or more, while enjoying the many great thank you gifts that we offer. Jazz 90.1 will deduct that amount automatically every month, and should your circumstances change, you can cancel at any time. Support Jazz 90.1 the way you want to, without bruising your budget. Jazz-O-Matically. For more information on becoming Jazz-O-Matic, call 966-5299 or pledge online at jazz901.org.
Jazz 90.1 weather.
Variably cloudy skies today. We'll include some sun at times. The high 44 to 48. Partly moonlit skies tonight. The low 32. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high 46 to 50. I'm Kevin Williams on Jazz 90.1.
And currently, right now, we've got overcast skies, 43 degrees out at the airport, and 46 here at member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Hi, this is Otto Bruno. Join me every Sunday from 12 to 2 on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And at 24 minutes after the hour, we are Soundbites. And we have Paul from Brighton, New York on the line. What's up, Paul?
Yeah, I've got a problem with my PC. It's an older PC, but it's worked pretty well. But recently, especially since, I'm not sure if it's right after I installed Windows 10, it boots up just fine right to the Windows screen. But if I want to get into the BIOS screen, where in the past with Windows 7 you just press the F5 or F10 key.
Yeah.
You can get into it. Now they have this little menu that you press the Shift key and the Start key and the Start window button on the screen. Anyway, you can supposedly get into the BIOS screen that way. With my PC, all I get is a black screen on the monitor. It never goes into the BIOS screen where you can see the various options.
Yeah, well, that's usually before it even gets to Windows.
Right.
So, when you do, if you turn the computer completely off, turn it on, usually it's F1, F2, or the delete key.
Delete or F12. What brand computer is it?
Well, it's an Asus motherboard that I put together myself some years ago.
Yeah, you may have to check to see what the key is on
yeah,
that
usually it's F1,
one.
F2,
F8,
and
often Escape.
Well, F8.
Yeah, and often you have to do it from a cold power on. It won't work from a warm reboot.
Yeah, reboot.
Yeah, well, I've done that too, but I just get that black
The
screen.
Escape key is one that they use quite a bit with the ASUS.
Well, sometimes Escape will clear like the Asus menu logo, and then you'll see the messages behind it.
Yeah. Usually it flashes on the screen very quickly to either boot from another device or how to get into the setup. And usually, like I say, it's F1 or F2.
And a lot of the new BIOSes will do what do they call it? Fast boot.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a second to catch that BIOS menu before it goes into Windows.
There is a fairly convoluted way to do it from Windows as well, and that involves going into update and security and Windows Update and recovery and blah 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 blah. Steve will publish a
part of it is
in
a
our
security
website.
precaution, because if someone has access to your computer for enough time to get into the BIOS, they can change the boot drive to something else, and then at their leisure, get into your machine and do stuff.
The reason I'm trying to do this is my audio stopped working, and I'm pretty sure all the device drivers are installed properly. But when I go through the troubleshooting procedure that Windows offers, it indicates that the audio device is not plugged in. And in searching on the internet, I found that's pretty common for some reason with Windows 10. And people find they have to go into the BIOS to re-enable their audio device.
Right,
right, because it's on board.
So that's why I'm trying to do this, and I've got two obstacles. One is first to get the audio device working, and before I can do that, I need to get into the BIOS.
Do you still have the booklet for that machine?
Yeah, I've got it somewhere.
RTFM.
It should tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things, if that booklet was from before Windows 10, it may not be updated enough. You might find what you need on the ASUS website, but also Steve has published on our website a fairly convoluted way to get into the BIOS in Windows 10.
Okay, I'll look at that. Thanks a lot.
All right.
I wonder, how new is your Windows 10 machine, I wonder? Because some of them are shifting from BIOS to
this is one that he upgraded.
This machine goes back about 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you can get into the UEFI settings anymore like you used to get into BIOS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay. The BIOS is going away. UEFI is going to be the thing in the future. So don't those of you who are new to computing, don't get too comfortable with the BIOS.
And there was another critical hole discovered in the Intel management engine.
I hate the Intel management engine. Why do we still have it? Come on, Intel, get your act together.
Somebody found that there's a JTAG interface that can easily be written to a USB key.
Right.
So someone can plug a USB key, which then goes back to the bad USB hack. You plug a USB key into your computer, and the bad guy can take over complete control of before your BIOS. There's a little tiny Unix computer, it's a Minix computer, that tells the BIOS what to do, so the BIOS can launch the rest of the system. And the researchers are finding more and more problems in this management engine.
Right, because nobody ever put security in there. Intel just never did that. All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is Andy from Greece, New York. Hi, Andy. What's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going today?
Peachy, how are you?
Oh, we're doing real well. Just calling because it's the first week of the month, and Thursday will be the Google's meeting.
That's right.
So I figured I'd call and do my monthly plug.
Go for it.
Google's meeting for all things Google and Chrome will be this Thursday at St. John's Meadow from 7 till 9. And if you want to stay, you can go over to Zeb's afterwards and get something to eat.
Exactly right. We meet once a month. It's called Rochester Googles. There's of course, a Google Plus webpage and also a Facebook page. And we meet the first Thursday of every month, and we get together and chit-chat about all things Google. And if you have questions, bring them. If you have a Chromebook or a tablet or a phone that you're having an issue with, bring that. And we'll be happy to chit-chat about all of those things. We've had demos of various Chromebooks and the Google Home Mini and a whole bunch of other stuff that's very cool. So if you're at all interested in, and of course the whole Google ecosystem, the Google Docs and Sheets and everything else. So if you're at all interested in any of that stuff, please join us. As Andy said, it's the first Thursday of every month, 7 o'clock, St. John's Meadow, and there you are. Thanks, Andy.
Not a problem, and we'll be talking to you.
Yes, you will. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, there are a lot of good meetings. What's going on at Cider this month?
Cider, we've got a couple of weeks left yet. It's December 13th. Second Wednesday of the month at East High School. We're going to be talking about virtual machines and emulators. A lot of times people need to run a Windows program on their Mac.
Right.
But we're finding more and more emulators of old Macs. So if you have an old Apple II game or an old System 1 game, we found Dark Castle that I wasted so much time playing in college.
And you probably still have the map in your head.
Yep. And I can still remember the sound those bats make when you hit them with a rock.
Yep.
A lot of people are still now our modern computers. In fact, many times even your modern tablets are faster than the old computers back then, and being able to run a lot of that old software. And we're also going to be talking about some favorite websites as we move into the holiday season. Hanukkah is early this year, so happy Hanukkah to our Jewish listeners. And 22 shopping days left until.
Shut up.
The day.
Shut up.
I was talking to someone last night, and he said he's already done. I wanted to hit him.
Oh, I need his name. I need his name because I have a cane.
Yeah, we can.
It's exactly right. You're
done,
aren't you?
I have Amazon Prime, and I'm not afraid to use it. Free 2-day shipping.
Except that the USPS, UPS, not USPS, not the Postal Service, UPS, has publicly stated that anything shipped after the 22nd of November is not necessarily going to get there at the time they say it's going to get there. It could be up to a week late. So don't wait if you're shopping.
Our FedEx driver's been making Saturday deliveries.
Yep.
And he's still saying that there's too many packages to fit in the truck.
Yeah.
And still 3 weeks before Christmas.
Well, they were advertising they're still hurting for drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the packing companies need drivers, especially this time of year.
That's all. That's true all over the place.
Well, the part of the problem is at least it used to be in the UPS, you used to bid for the route.
Yep.
You know how fast you could do the route, and people were killing themselves. They were just killing themselves in order to get the good routes and get them done fast.
Yeah, our guy says he could have 400 or 500 boxes in his truck and be able to go back and get another 400 in the afternoon.
Yep, that's exactly right. When I worked for a dealer, we would routinely get 30, 40 boxes every day, and the truck would come twice, 3 times. I would see, wouldn't necessarily stop for us, but I'd see him go by. And one day I was outside when he stopped next door. I said, "How many trips is this?" This is my 3rd trip today.
Yeah.
Now, he was a young,
I was just saying, that's
strapping,
for a lot younger person.
Yeah. He was a young, strapping fella, but
not at our age.
Not at our age. No, sir. All right, back. Sorry.
I remember one time the driver was delivering a bunch of stuff to us, and the black package I was waiting for that I'd tracked that said it was on the truck, he didn't bring it in. And I said, "Well, where's this box?" So, "Well, that's marked for afternoon delivery." "Well, you're here now. Can you give it to me?" "No, it's marked for afternoon delivery."
That's exactly right.
And if I do that for everyone, I'll never make my morning delivery schedules.
That's exactly right. Because it's not packaged to be in the back of the truck.
Yep.
It's packaged to be in the middle of the truck. Yep. All right, back to the phones. Our next caller is Jacob from Rochester, New York. Hi, Jacob. What's up?
Hi, gentlemen. A couple of days ago, I was just turning on my computer, and all of a sudden, this sign says "View" came up and left real quick, and then my computer became like huge. Okay, the screen.
Yeah.
I did everything I could. I tried everything that I think could be done, but in order to scale back, I had to set the resolution back from the 100% to 1152, and my fonts are a little messed up. I don't know what kind of fonts I had on the original one. I never had a problem before, but all of a sudden, bingo. Is there anything that I have to do? I even tried to go to go back to a certain point. That didn't help at all. Nothing.
Right. Now, let me ask a couple of questions. First, was there any sort of update, or did you add any specific software?
No, I don't do that. I just let it go. No, I don't really add on. I thought it goes on automatically.
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't know what specifically triggered what happened to you. Is it everything on the desktop, or just one program, or what?
No, it's the whole thing, and it's sort of like the fonts are a little bit. They're not sharp anymore.
The video driver.
Right. Okay. The fonts not being sharp means you're probably not using the recommended resolution for the monitor. When you go in to change the resolution,
I did it. I've always had 124 times 768 recommended. And
whatever it says is recommended is what you should use.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's the one that specifically is good for that particular monitor. Now, it may well be that there was some sort of glitch in your video driver.
Okay.
So you might want to look again, as we've been saying to people today, look on the manufacturer's website. What model is your computer?
It's an HP.
Okay.
Windows 10.
Yeah. So if
I had to upgrade on it.
Right.
It's about 6 years old.
Right. Well, in that case, it probably came with Windows 8 or 7.
Yeah. Yes. 7.
Right. So what you need to do is go to HP's website and stick in your serial number and make sure that you have the latest set of drivers. Well, for everything, but certainly for your video card in this particular case. Okay. It may well be that some update finally glitched out the driver. And they have whatever graphics card came with that machine might have an update.
Oh, so I go to HP site.
Right, go to HP's website, and which is I believe just HP.com.
HP.com. Yeah. Then there's a support button and a software and drivers button.
Yeah.
And then you can put in your serial number in order to find the drivers for your specific computer.
Okay, so what happens if then? Are they going to tell me the driver's no good or something?
Well, they're going to tell you what the latest drivers are, and you can download them and then install them, and there will be instructions on how to do all of that.
Oh, okay. Well, right now this is terrible. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's clear you're not using the recommended resolution, but again, whatever the recommended resolution is may be way too large, and putting in the new drivers will let you change that without any problem.
Yeah, one thing I've been using a lot is the Zoom. You know, it's like 100%. Is 100% a normal, or you go back, you play with that Zoom?
Yeah, 100% is actually normal, is regular. All right, we got to take a break.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to take a break. Back in just a couple of minutes. Dave Enright, Steve Ramey, Nick Francesco, and you, 39 minutes after the hour. Soundbites member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Computer talk you can understand. More Soundbites is next on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Are you in the mood for a new clothing item from the Jazz 90.1 online store? Jazz 90.1 is currently stocked with short and long sleeve t-shirts, polos, sweatshirts, sweatpants, and more. Visit the Jazz 90.1 online store and see all the great items available so you can tell the world, tastefully, that you are a proud Jazz 90.1 listener. Visit the Jazz 90.1 online store today at jazz901.org.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you going to do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Debt. If you get in too deep, members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. A certified credit counselor helped me get back in control.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. NFCC taught me all I needed to know.
Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. We'll help you put debt in its place. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
This is Rob Linton, station manager of Jazz 90.1. Annual membership contributions and business underwriting keep our programming on the air. The future growth and excellence of our station depends on our ability to also build a permanent base of support through an active and successful legacy gift program. Please continue your gift past a lifetime by including Jazz 90.1 in your will, trust, or general estate plans, and join us in building a legacy of giving to support public jazz radio in Rochester. For more information on planned giving, you may visit jazz901.org or call us at 966-2660. Thank you.
And now, your Jazz 90.1 weather.
Variably cloudy skies today. We'll include some sun at times. The high 44 to 48. Partly moonlit skies tonight. The low 32. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine. The high 46 to 50. I'm Kevin Williams on Jazz 90.1.
And currently, right now, we've got overcast skies, 43 degrees out at the airport, and 45 here at member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Hello, this is Paul Conley. Join me early on Monday mornings from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And in 43 minutes after the hour, we are Sound Bytes.
And you might as well jump.
And you might as well jump. And we have Jerry from Webster on the line. Hiya, Jerry. What's up?
Hi, guys. I have a question. I'm running Windows or Roadrunner for my email, Windows Live Mail, and I have an HP desktop. It's about 7 years old. On my email, and I try to delete some of the older emails, it says an unknown error has occurred, and I can't seem to delete them. I'm wondering if it's due to the age of the email or there's some other problem that I'm not aware of.
Okay, so you're using Windows Live Mail.
Yes.
Sorry, what?
Junk.
Now,
No.
stop.
It's the one that's built in.
It's the one that's built in, and a lot of people tend to use it.
Junk.
Can you delete anything, or is it...
Yes, I can delete most items. Some of the items that are older I can't, and some of the ones that, it's mostly the older ones. Once in a while it's a new one, but mostly it's the older ones.
Yeah, it may well be that what your problem actually is that email no longer exists on the system. You've still got a pointer to it, but when that pointer goes out to the server, which is where your mail is actually kept on Windows Live Mail, it can't actually find it anywhere. Now, the other thing to check, of course, is does that particular email have a attachment?
No, it's just, for the most part, no. It's just the email. When you open it up, it just tells you what they want you to see. Not most of the time, no attachments, no.
All right, so you can open them, but you can't delete them.
Well, no, let me take that back. I can't delete them. I can't open them or delete them.
Yeah, right. And that's what leads me to think that they're just not there, and it's just a pointer that's gotten screwed up somehow.
Yeah.
There's a way to refresh the mailbox.
I was just going to say.
The hard way is to delete the account and re-add it. Well, let's back up half a step. Do you know if you have it set up as POP or IMAP?
It's a desktop. Is that what you...
No, the mail protocol you're using. POP mail downloads the mail to your computer, and IMAP mail leaves it on the server. And the message you're getting makes it sound like it's the mail on the server that it can't find anymore.
That's possible, yes, because it is older, right? That might be it. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
And the usual way is you delete the mail account and then add it back. But if it is set up for POP, you're going to delete all your local mail, and then it only downloads
which
new
would
mail.
be bad.
Yeah.
One question: if I switched my emails gradually over to like a Gmail account, would this eliminate the problem? Would I encounter that again? Do you think?
Well, no. Here's the deal with that. If you move over to an account, for example, on Gmail, you could start getting all your new mail there, and your old mail would stay in Windows Live Mail. That's the easiest way to do it. And eventually, you just stop using Windows Live Mail. And so you honestly just don't care if there's some outdated pointers in it because you're not looking at it anymore.
And it's more the protocol you use rather than the program you're using. So if you went to Roadrunner's website and used their webmail, you would be able to add and delete mail all the time. As Dave was alluding to earlier, Windows Live Mail isn't that good of a mail program. You could try downloading Thunderbird,
right,
and have it import all of your mail from Live Mail, and then set up your Roadrunner account for IMAP so that it can handle the mail better.
And I'm also wondering because I had another person bring a computer in, and the Microsoft Live Mail was all messed up. And again, it's because some of these updates and everything else, that's all it takes is a small hiccup, and Windows, gets totally trashed.
Yeah, you remember the Microsoft Inbox repair tool, where they were so used to Outlook crashing and losing your mail that they included an inbox repair tool to fix it.
Rather than fix the program,
and it doesn't even work now.
That doesn't really work.
Not with Windows 10, because I tried doing it.
Right.
And there's companies that want $100 to straighten out your Live Mail account.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good business. All right, so here's one thing you can try. if you want to get a Gmail account, we recommend them because they're fast, they're easy, they're universal. You can get your mail anywhere, blah, 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 blah,
And they
blah.
have really good spam filters.
And they have really, really good spam filters.
Excellent.
You can also transfer all your contacts and emails from Windows Live Mail to Gmail. And Steve is putting up a post on how to, a link to a post on how to do that. Now, again, the caveat is at some point it will tell you it failed. And that's because it's still trying to get at those emails that don't exist any longer.
I see, yeah.
But you can just ignore that. I mean, it's it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so,
I'm sorry. You mentioned webmail. I do use that when I'm away out of town on my laptop for webmail to get my email, and that doesn't seem to be a problem.
Right.
Right. That's why we're thinking that your Windows Live Mail is set up for POP, which creates these problems, and IMAP would not.
Right.
I see. Okay.
And you can get to your Gmail through, obviously, a web browser,
Anything-
so that'd be fine.
Yeah. The irony is, POP is a 35-year-old mail protocol. IMAP is only 30 years old.
You're right.
Yeah, and this way, no matter where you are, you can just, whether it's your phone, a tablet, somebody else's computer, you can log in your Gmail account and get at all that stuff.
And basically any account that uses IMAP can do this.
Right. And the only hard thing for you, like Nick was saying, though, is you can import these all over. The biggest pain in the butt's going to be for you is notifying people of your new Gmail account name.
Yes, I realize that would be where most of the work would be, right?
Yeah, just notify them, I'm not using this email address anymore. I'm now using this one.
What I find is because most people reply to emails, once I send them an email from Gmail and for about a month I hit them with, don't forget to change my address, don't forget to change my address, they finally would do it and it would be okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll try that. All right, thank you very much.
All right, good luck. Thanks. Yeah, look, Windows Live Mail came with Windows, and so a lot of people started to use it, and I get that. But as Dave says, it's junk, and we're much better off.
It doesn't. Like I was telling this one person, it doesn't take much of a hiccup for the PTS file to get messed up.
Right. Again, it's part of Microsoft's philosophy to put everything in one big file. That's the registry, it's the PTS file, and all it takes is one tiny little glitch to completely lose everything in that file. It's a terrible way to store any information.
And that's a huge file. That PTS has got all their contacts, all the emails, everything's in there. And that if you don't back it up, forget it.
Yep.
Your host.
Yep.
And like I say, there's a company now, because I tried to find the tool to redo that, like Steve was talking about.
Yeah.
Nope. Not in Windows 10. Companies are out there, and the lowest price I could find was $99 to buy their package, and that might straighten it out.
Might.
Yeah.
And if you've got an awful lot of email and you've never backed any of it up, and it's not existing anywhere but on your desktop, then yes, I get that you might need to do that, but to pay that, and it would be worth it. But for most people, no, it's really kind of not. And so if you're working with a company, one of the things that I love about Gmail, again, I got to say it, is there's something called Google Takeout, where you can go to takeout.google.com, I think it is, and I've just got it bookmarked, and I do it every week. I go there and I say I want all my mail, and it downloads it to my machine as a zip file. So I've got a backup of everything. And I go and I say I want all my documents. And I do these all separately. You can do them all at once, but I do them separately so I have my mail in one zip file and et cetera, et cetera. So I do that with my photos. I do that with my documents. I do that with my mail. And that way I've got backups that I can go back to if I need them. Now, you may not care to do that, and I understand that, although it takes a couple of minutes to make the clicks, and then you say notify me when it's done, and then you get an email that says this link is available for 24 hours. So as long as within 24 hours you look at your email and click on the link to download it, you're good to go, right? And that means that you have much more complete control over, well, everything that you have. You know, I've said this before. If you're a system administrator like I was for 20 years, you cannot be paranoid enough. And so I believe in backing up the backups of the backups. And this lets me do that. Google, I know, like I said, I know people at Google, and they back up their backups of their backups too. But in addition to that, I back up the backups of my backups so that the likelihood that I will lose something that's actually important to me is very slim. Could it still happen? Of course.
All it takes is once, and then people have a very strong... Actually, no. We've had several customers where they've lost all their data. We sell them a backup drive. They come back a year later with another problem, and they never got around to putting the backup drive on.
Yep. And that's on them entirely.
So now we're pushing wireless backup. So you don't have to remember to plug the backup drive in.
Right, you just have to start it at some point and put it on your network.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to remind people. Back in the day, nobody had to do any of that stuff. But now you are your own system administrator, and that means security and backups and all the other hundreds of millions of things that we do. All right, look, that noise in the background, that beautiful music tells us that we are done for another week. I want to thank Dave Enright. I want to thank Steve Ray. I'm Nick Francesco. Don't go away. George is coming in to play the best German music you'll hear all week. Michael's here to keep him on the straight and narrow. And we will be back in just another week to bring you a lot more of the longest-running computer show in the known universe. That's right. You've been listening to the truly great, and truly grateful to each and every one of you that we are member-supported and proud to say it, Jazz 90.1. We will see you in just 166 hours. Be good to each other, will you?
Here are the Jazz 90.1 Club calendar highlights for Saturday, December 2nd. The Jim Nugent Trio plays at Hedges Restaurant on Lake Road this evening, 6:30 till 10:30. Special Blend is at Horizons Lounge at Woodcliff from 7:30 to 11:30. Joe Santora, Emily Kirchhoff, and Terrence Bruce play jazz tonight at Michael's Valley Grill on Penfield Road, 8 to 11. Kate Cafari is at Prosecco Italian Restaurant and Jazz Bar in Farmington from 6 until 9. If you're looking for blues, Cinnamon Jones and